I don't know about you, but I did find myself losing my connection to my inner femininity as a mom, especially as a new mom. So if you also feel like you would like more connection to your feminine, feel more feminine, look more feminine, this video is going to be for you. I'm going to give you my most powerful tips to reconnect to that feminine part of you and radiate that femininity. So sometimes as mom, we tend to leave our self-care, self-pleasure aside to take care of people, of projects, of things, and it can be very easy to disconnect from our feminine. But what do you mean feminine? What is feminine? What does it look like? Because what I consider being feminine is probably different than what you consider being feminine. So in the world, you have this polarity of feminine and masculine that exists in all things, in ourselves included. So we, as women, we have both feminine and masculine energy, and men have the same thing, but in different proportion. Flowers have feminine and masculine energy. Trees have feminine and masculine seasons, food, etc., etc. So what I'm going to invite you to do is first, does it feel to you to be feminine, to be in your feminine? What do you want it to look like? What is your intention? Why do you want to feel more feminine? Because maybe for you that's not a thing, but if you clicked on this video, it is a thing. So what is your intention with reconnecting to your feminine? How do you want to feel? What does the feminine look like? One thing that can be great to do to define this, if you have a connection to any deity, feminine deity especially, like goddesses, you can pick one that embodies something that you want more of. Because what I love about the ancient, we can say Vedic or Hindu tradition, is that they don't consider that the goddess is one thing, that it looks like one thing. It actually has so many facets, so many faces, so many personalities. And I'm going to invite you to choose a few characteristics, a few qualities of the feminine that you want to connect to, that you want to nourish in your life. And if you don't know what feminine qualities are inherently as the polarity, I'm going to put them in the description of this video, and you can find those qualities and choose a few that you would like to embody more. The first thing that I would recommend you to do, and that's something that has been so much of a game changer for me, is please, mama, sleep. Sleep is something that in Ayurveda we consider being lubricating, being nourishing, being building in your body. So it helps you feel more lubricated, it helps you feel more flowy, feel more energized, and it is so important as women specifically, especially if you're breastfeeding, especially if you have young kids. It is a lot to do every day, and sleep really would benefit you as a priority. And I love what Alison Armstrong says about sleep and womanhood. It says sleep is what gives women their femininity, like this good, flowy, juicy, she uses that term, this juicy thing, this juicy radiance of the feminine. So first, really cherish your sleep. And if you want some recommendation on how to do this, especially with young kids, especially when they don't sleep through the night, let me know in the comment section and I will dedicate a video to this. Second is set your priorities. You have so much to do. You have so many places to be in. You have so many desires, so many projects inside of you, that I'm sure as a mom you realize that you cannot do everything, and this is probably the best thing you can do for yourself, is define what are your priorities. What is actually really important for you to feel good, to feel more feminine, to feel more radiant, to feel more nurtured every day, and really going all in on those and letting aside everything else. It's so tempting, especially on social media when we see what everybody else is doing, to be like, okay, I'm gonna have this morning routine with that self-care practice and this self-care practice and this self-care practice. But I'm gonna actually invite you to reduce this, to simplify, and to choose maybe 3 practices that you can do every day in the morning. Because The more chaos you have around you or outside of you, the more simplicity you want to create in your life. So, for example, my priorities were sleep. My priority was oiling my body. It's really important. I've got very dry skin. And moving my body. Those were probably the most important, and having some time for my spiritual practice. I will add this one. And it will also allow you to go deeper in what you choose, because when we have so many different practices, we tend to jump from one to another, and our focus is so diminished on each of those activities. And when you actually focus on one or two or maybe three, you have more energy and attention to give to those priorities, to those projects, to those practices, and it makes them even more powerful. A third advice that I would recommend to reconnect to your feminine is ask for support, ask for help. The feminine is held, the feminine works in a group, the feminine works with other people. We are not supposed to do things ourselves, we're not supposed to be super women in that way. We are super women by being in our feminine energy, which is being able to resource people, which doesn't mean using people. It's resourcing is, I can see that you have this quality, that you have this to give, and I need it. Are you okay to give this to me and I can give this in exchange? And resourcing is such a powerful superpower of the feminine. It's truly what helps us grow, what helps us thrive. And when we disconnect from this, we have to be in our masculine. When we do everything ourselves, we have to be the mind, we have to be the helder, we have to be the one who directs, and this is so draining for the feminine. So if you want to reconnect to that energy inside of you, ask for support, get a beautiful circle around you, a beautiful village, and be creative. There are so many ways to create that. I'll definitely make a video if it's not already there, and you will find it in the description of this video if it is. And when I say ask for help, it can be people, but it can also be archetypes. It can be professional help. What I mean by archetype is like if you want to connect to an energy that is supportive for you, like the Divine Mother or the goddess that I suggested at the beginning of this video, that can also be a form of support. Another thing that is so crucial to reconnect to your femininity is moving and being in your body. It's so easy to be in our mind. It's so easy to think all the time. And even if you are moving all day, because to be honest, as a mom, we are moving all day, especially with young kids who are running around, who need attention and assistance, but it's not conscious moving. And many times we are moving totally unconsciously. So we don't feel our bodies as we are moving. What I'm inviting you to do is conscious movement. So it can be working out, it can be yoga, it can be dance. Dance is truly one of the most powerful tools to reconnect to your feminine. And something that is particularly important if you want to nourish the feminine inside of you is your hips. So moving that part of your body is so crucial because it's truly a bridge towards your inner world and your outer world. It's a bridge between your sacred center, which is around your womb, and the earth. So the more you are connecting to this part of your body, the more it circulates in here, the more you're going to be able to resource the earth itself as an energy enhancer. Another advice that goes along the previous one is cherishing your body. I know we don't have time. I know I didn't have time. I didn't have time to do my hair. I didn't have time to put some oil on my face. I didn't have time to do anything that feels like just futile, but so important. Futility is what we consider futile is actually one of the most important things to nourish our feminine. So prioritizing beauty on ourselves in our house, taking the time to arrange flowers, to have some around you, taking the time to make your space pretty. I know that it can become this other things that we have to check on our list, but if you actually choose it as a cherishing act, it can be so nourishing for your health, it can be so nourishing for your mind and for your feminine energy. No matter how cherishing your body looks like for you, maybe doing your nails is not your thing, it's not my thing. For some moms, it is. For other moms, it would be like doing a facial treatment. It could be taking care of your hair. It can be dressing in a way that makes you feel more feminine and radiant. It can be eating a certain type of food, drinking something. Drinking cacao can be very cherishing for your body. It can be getting a massage. It can be going in a beautiful place just for the sake of it. You know, when you go into the store where you know you cannot buy anything, but you just want to be surrounded by beauty. This is really how you can cherish your feminine energy. And next, pleasure and sensuality. Pleasure can come through all of your 5 senses. It can be through touch, it can be through taste, it can be through smell, it can be through visible beauty. So you really have to make it your own. Pleasure is really so necessary for the feminine energy. Life without pleasure is not worth it. We can say pleasure is futile. It is, but life is not worth it without it. So when you actually prioritize pleasure and sensuality, so sensuality is nothing else than using your senses to bring in nourishment for your mind, for your body, for your soul, this is truly a beautiful practice to have in your life. And maybe you can observe in your body what is your relationship with pleasure. For me, for a while, it was like this thing that you do once you have time. But you know, we never have time for it if you don't prioritize it. So it was the thing that you deserve once you've done the hard work. And because I was living my life this way, I was draining myself. I was literally getting so emotionally dry, mentally dry, physically dry. And once I was like, okay, no, pleasure is actually an important part of self-care, of health, of even my professional life. It brought me so much inspiration, so much opening. It helped me connect to other people. So if you can nourish and cultivate pleasure in your life, either can be sexual, but it can be totally non-sexual through your 5 senses and connect to this sensual part of yourself, it could really go a long way to reconnect you to your inner feminine. You can also connect to your feminine by connecting to the moon, connecting to the cycle of the moon. You have those cycles inside of you, and this is really a beautiful practice to do to reconnect to your inner rhythm, to your inner lunar rhythm, because we are more lunar than solar as women. Flowers are a beautiful way to connect to our feminine, because I love this term. One of my teachers said that one day and I laughed so much. They were like, imagine if extraterrestrial came to Earth and they saw us cutting plant vaginas and offering them to each other. I was like, what did you just say? And then it made sense. Flowers are plant vaginas. They are the part of the plant that attracts things, because the plant needs pollinators or other animals to be able to grow and to spread around. So it was this beautiful reminder for me that flowers are this beautiful, colorful, sensual, because you have the smell, you have the taste, you have the color. It feels sometimes soft, sometimes very glowy. Flowers are a beautiful representation of the feminine for that reason, and all the beautiful facets and personality of the feminine. So if you want to reconnect to this, I will totally invite you to gather some flowers, either in your yard or at the store if you cannot do differently. And personally, I had a craving for flowers when I was pregnant, so I started planting flowers everywhere I could. I started offering flowers to my friends. I started having flowers on my altar at all time. It was so important for me to have at least one flower in the house. So it's definitely one of my favorite ways to reconnect to my inner feminine. So this video could be much longer and we can go so much deeper in that subject. It's really a fascinating and so important subject for women and for moms specifically. But I'm going to invite you to choose maybe 1 or 2 practices that I offered you today and really dive into them and make them a priority for yourself to reconnect to that feminine part, whatever that looks like for you. And if you're a new mom, you will love this video, which is about a few tips from Ayurveda to take care of your mind, to cherish your mind, because it is truly important to take care of your emotions, of your thoughts, of your mental well-being, especially as a new mom. So click here. I think you'll love it. Thank you for being here, and remember to stay radiant and nurtured. Bye-bye.